Hi everybody, it's your favorite kitty here, the Alpha Kitty, and today we're reading a scary story that I made. As you can see, it's 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., and we're gonna do some late night reading with a scary story. One of the greatest things to do when you're up late and you have nothing to do and you're bored and you have ADHD brain and you just want to write a story. So anyways, today we're gonna read a scary story. So buckle up your seatbelts, grab in, and let's do this. So the story that I made is called DownFall. One day, I went to the gas station. I needed to buy some more instant noodles because I was running out. As a college student, this is the only thing my budget allows, and my rich dorm mate is not the sharing type. I pick up 20 packets and go to the cash register. As I'm going to pay for it, I looked up at the TV in the corner. Apparently, people are going insane and killing each other. More like biting them, and the police are trying to get it under control. The scene looks like something out of a video game. I pay for my food and I step out of the store. Someone tackles me down. That really hurt. As I look up, the person bit my arm and I kicked the person away. My arm is bleeding. That person really bit me. What kind of weird kink is this? The person starts to charge at me again. I quickly get up and start running back to my dorm. As I get near the college campus and to the buildings, I see a bunch of people out walking sluggish, like those crazy people on TV. They all look at me and start running towards me. I start running away. Oh God, am I going to get ripped apart, as the news people say all over the TV? I start screaming. I usually fight back and barely scream in situations as a sense of pride, but I have a bad feeling like I'm going to die. Someone opens the door and starts waving their hand for me to come in. Hurry, they're coming, the strange man said, and I ducked in, and he shuts the door and barricades it. What is going on? I asked, looking scared. Well, it's been all over the news. Dead people are coming to life. You know, zombies. Or what people like to call them dead souls. Dead souls? I questioned, as I hear the groaning of creatures outside. How did this even happen? The guy looked at me. All I heard is that scientists was testing on dead bodies to see if they would make us immortal. Things went wrong. People got bit, got out of the lab, and then died. Boom, and the infection spreads like wildfire. It all starts with a single bite. I went pale as a ghost and looked at my arm. The guy saw what I was looking at and pointed a gun at me. You're infected! No, please don't kill me. I swear, I'm not one of those things. The guy lowered the gun a bit. You will become one, and I'm not risking it. You're going to have to leave, miss. You want me to go out with those things? I'll die. He looked at me intensely. He didn't say anything, but I knew what he was thinking. You're going to die either way. Better you than me. I pleaded with him, but then I started to cough up blood. He points the gun back at my head. Leave now, or I'm gonna put one between your eyes. I opened the door and ran. I ran so fast, and all the dead souls looked my way. They started chasing me. I started crying. I don't want to turn into one of those things. I want to live. I want to survive. I want to eat. I shake my head. I am turning into one of those things. I came upon a building. I opened it and shut the door. There was a desk with a flower, and I pushed it in front of the door. I was in the men's dormitory. I looked around. I didn't hear anything except the dead banging on the door and groaning. I started to walk down the hall. I looked into one of the dorm rooms and went in. I walked to the dresser, pulled it open, and picked out a long sleeve red flannel shirt. I take off my shirt and put it on so no one can see my bite mark. I started coughing up blood again, and I hear a gun cocked behind me. I turned around and see 10 men and 5 girls behind me. The guy with the gun spoke. It looks like you're infected, little one. I wiped my bloody hand on the shirt. Please let me live. I don't want to die. A brown-haired girl walked next to him. You're going to die anyway, and we can't have you near us. You're going to have to leave. I started thinking, and then I spoke. Then let me turn in here and close the door. Barricade it if you have to. So you want to turn into one of those things? The guy with the gun said. Do you have ammo to waste? I questioned. He unloaded the magazine and looked at the bullets in it, and then puts it back in. Fair enough. They all leave and push a bookcase in front of the door, so I could not escape. So this is how I die. I walk over to the bed and sit down. I always thought I'd meet a nice man, get married, and have a family of my own. I start crying, but I'm going to turn into a dead soul and live the rest of my life a rotting corpse. So, that's the first chapter. So, there's not much here to uncover. This story that I'm making is something that I wanted to get into for a while. I always wanted to make a zombie based story, but I didn't have enough material to think of. Like, what am I gonna do? Something different. Something different than, like, The Last of Us or The Walking Dead. I wanted something completely different, like Z Nation, but more intense, you know? So, that's why I decided to get into my element at the dead of night at 1:37 a.m. I should have done it at 3 o'clock. It would have been better at the ghost hour. But this is good also. So at the dead of 1:37 a.m., I decided, wait, I can make a zombie story. And I can actually make it sound good. Something different than all the other zombie things out there like Black Summer and stuff like that. I can make something really good out of this. So our protagonist, I don't have a name for her yet, but I will come up with something. As you can see, I didn't mention her name at all throughout the story because I need to think of new characters' names, something different from the characters I have in The Wild Ones. The Wild Ones is a story that I always wanted to make with a character named Riley. I had the name Riley as a character for a long time since I was in elementary school. Like, Riley was always the protagonist in every story I made with her. And now that I'm creating a whole different story with a whole different assets, I need new character names, new people, every single day. If you guys wanted to suggest your names in the comments below, I will pick some of you guys from the comments and I will put you in the story. But until then, I'll probably like make up some names and probably put some of my friends' names in here and be like, oh look, I made a story about you guys. You guys want to come over and read it? So that's what's gonna be happening in this story. And I was thinking of zombie names. I was like, what can I name the zombies? Because they can't be walkers, they can't be runners or infected or something, you know? Because everybody's like, oh my god, it's the runners, it's the clickers, bloaters. And I'm like, those are smart names. Like, how do people come up with names like that for zombie types? And I'm like, what should my zombies' names be? Like, what? Like, there's walkers, there's runners already, there's all these types of zombies. There's Z's, as in zombies. Like, what can I do different than all these other zombie things? And I'm like, wait a minute. Dead Souls. I'm like, what about Dead Souls? Like, they're dead? I wanted to make a cool, edgy name. As the emo I am, I had to make a cool, edgy name. So I was like, Dead Souls. Dead Souls could be a name. It could be a thing, and it could be great, I guess. I mean, I guess. And I'm like, yes, Dead Souls. And then I was thinking more and more, and I'm like, what else should I put in this? And I'm like, okay, let's say she's a broke college student. Like, why is she going to the store or stuff like that? And I'm just building off base. So if you see things that are weird in here, it's just off the top of my head because I am very stupid. I know a lot of things, but I am very stupid. Like, I didn't know what parts of the gun is called, so I looked up what are parts of the gun called. And I was like, let's do something simple like a magazine and, take it out and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And then I'm like, girls, boys, how many characters do I want in this? Right now, as you can see, there was like one, our main person, one of the strange men that helped her, kicked her out, and then was it 10 boys I put in there? I really forgot. Yeah, 10 men, so that's already 12, and then 5 girls, which is math, 17. And I'm like, okay, 17 people. That's good. I can add more later if I want to. I can subtract ones if I would have to, if I need to unalight them in my story. I could just, you know. So, yeah. And I'm like, wow. Like, I could make a good zombie story if I wanted to. Like, guys, if you ever want to make something, always write down something before you start a story. Me, as a non-professional story writer, I just literally think of stuff on the fly. Like, I don't even know where I want to take this story direction. As the girl who is dying, I'm not doing any spoilers for this series yet because I want you guys to be like, oh my gosh, surprise. For the girl that's dying, who is the main protagonist, obviously, I'm like, I don't know if I want to kill her off or keep her alive somehow. And I'm just like, wow, I really have to write this story. I need to write things down, key points, like, what am I going to do with the story? So this is just the basis for now. And once I do think of a story plot for it, then I would do another late night story time with this story. But I need to, like, put so much more into this because I do want to continue with the story. Like, there are gonna be more stories in the future where I just, like, read it out. I'm gonna continue the wild ones. I'm gonna continue this story. I might make a third for my ADHD brain to, like, calm down and just keep going. But since I have ADHD, I need to write it down, or I will be so unorganized. So, yeah, so this is the story. This is how we're gonna go. This is the basis of it. And as you know, I am the Alpha Kitty, your favorite kitten here. And claws out, everyone. See you next time.